Welcome to Over 40 and Automated, where we trade stress for simplicity, one click at a time. Today, we're tackling a myth that keeps so many of us from even trying to make life easier. Automation is only for techies. If you've ever thought that, even for a second, let's just take a breath. Because it makes complete sense. You're not weird. You're not slow. You're not bad with technology. You're just human. Let's talk about why this myth exists in the first place. Because tech companies love to make themselves look advanced. They use sleek interfaces and flashy buzzwords like AI and workflows and integrations. They show off dashboards filled with toggles and graphs that honestly mean nothing to most of us. They want it to look powerful. They want it to look sophisticated, because that sells subscriptions. But what they don't tell you? It doesn't have to be that complicated. When you see that flashy, complicated stuff, it's easy to think, oh, that's not for me. I'm not a techie. I just mess it up. And honestly, you're not wrong to feel that way, because they don't make it friendly for you. They don't slow down and explain things clearly. They don't consider someone who didn't grow up with apps in hand. Most of us didn't have smartphones in school. We weren't taught how to use settings, download apps, set reminders. Many of us were paying rent and raising kids before email was even standard. We remember when the internet was something you heard about before you actually used it. And now? Now everything is just an app. Just sign up. Just link your bank. Just automate it. But let's be honest, it doesn't feel like just anything. It feels like another thing to learn. Another thing to keep up with. Another thing you're expected to know automatically. And when you ask for help, too often someone younger just grabs your phone and says here without explaining a thing, leaving you feeling behind, embarrassed, frustrated. But here's the truth. Automation isn't for techies. Automation is for anyone who wants less stress. Anyone who wants one less thing to remember. Anyone who wants time back in their day. Because at its heart, automation just means setting something up once so you don't have to keep thinking about it. That's it. If you've ever set an alarm clock, that's automation. You chose the time once. Your phone remembers every day. If you put a friend's birthday in your calendar, that's automation. You don't have to remember it off the top of your head every year. If you use autopay for your bills, that's automation. You don't have to sit down every month to write a check. None of those things are complicated. They're smart. They're how you take something off your plate and trust it'll get done. But let's talk about why this feels intimidating. Because when you see someone's automation setup online, it's full of fancy charts and integrations. They talk about it like it's a hobby. They're optimizing everything. And you're just trying to make sure your bills get paid on time. That's enough to make anyone check out. And that's okay. You don't have to be that person. You don't have to make your life a spreadsheet. You don't have to know every new app or every setting. You just have to know what you want help remembering. That's the starting point. Because the real power of automation isn't in the fancy setups. It's in the tiny daily things that make life easier. Here are some simple everyday automations anyone can do. Daily medication reminders. Set a daily phone alarm. Let it remember so you don't have to. Health matters and forgetting happens. Recurring grocery lists. Most of us buy 80% of the same items each week. Save that list once in your store app. Reorder in seconds instead of rewriting it every time. Bill autopay. No more calendar alerts or sticky notes. No late fees. Just peace of mind knowing it's handled. Email filters. Stop sorting by hand every day. Bills go to finance. Newsletters to read later. Important emails stay front and center. Scheduled text messages. Write birthday wishes ahead of time. Schedule them to go out on the right day. It's still personal. Just thoughtful planning. Recurring calendar alerts. Water reminders. Stretch breaks. Call your sister once a week. Because self-care includes staying connected. None of this requires being a techie. It just requires deciding, I don't want to hold all this in my head anymore. Because that's the real problem automation solves. Most of us are carrying so much mental load. Remembering everyone's appointments, paying every bill on time, keeping track of birthdays, remembering the grocery list, staying in touch with people. It's too much, and it drains your energy. Automation is giving yourself permission to say, I don't have to remember it all. It's about reducing mental clutter, so you have space to think about the things you want to. Because here's the truth. You don't have to do it all in your head. You don't have to be a machine. You don't have to prove anything to anyone by just remembering. You're not being lazy, you're being smart. And if you feel resistance to it, that's okay. That's normal. Change is uncomfortable, especially when you're used to carrying so much. But imagine what it would feel like if your bills paid themselves, your groceries reordered in seconds, your friends felt remembered even when life was busy, your inbox didn't overwhelm you every morning. You could take a breath knowing your phone will remind you to care for yourself. That's what automation is. Not cold, not impersonal, not high-tech wizardry. Just kindness to yourself, one small habit at a time. You don't need to be a techie. You don't need to know everything. You don't have to master every app. You just have to decide you want your life to feel a little easier and be willing to let your phone or your calendar or your app help you. Because you've got enough on your plate already. You've been carrying the load for long enough. You deserve ease. You deserve simplicity. You deserve time back in your day. One click at a time. That's it for this one. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more practical ways to save time each week.